when we talked about the course and its structure, and I can't say too much because obviously we haven't kind of released it all out into the big bad world at the moment. But what I found really interesting, and it's kind of very much on par with how we try to teach here, is work out your mistakes. And what you were saying to me when we was looking at the structure you'd put together was to start off by making a lot of mistakes and then put those to one side, and then let's start again and work out how we get past those mistakes. So, and I kind of love that idea of it, of actually sort of like doing things wrong and then kind of sort of sitting down and going, okay, well, this is a technical achievement.
Yep.
You know, and I mean, I said to you, I think probably a few times, that prosthetics is such a, you know, for me as a makeup and hair designer, I've got such a high regard for prosthetics and what you bring to the table. But I very much sort of, you know, divide it into what we do and what you do. And there's a grey area in the middle where we do overlap on films. And again, this takes us back to this collaboration, is there's a very strong working relationship with the makeup designer and the prosthetics designer to work out how we kind of feed, especially if we're doing something on an actor, where we kind of sort of like do our little bit of the journey and then we meet in the middle and do a combined part of the journey. And then, you know, if it is something really major, then we then move it over to you, helping as much as we can on the way. You know, obviously if there's wigs and things like that to be made to sort of like to help, then that's where we come in as well. But it is, I do find the whole thing fascinating, and also the different products and how refined it's become over the years. Like the edges now, it used to be a thing that I remember we always used to get the, was it the Prosade and the Pro Cream? And we'd literally be sort of pushing that all around the edges and just, oh, if in doubt, just put blood over it, you know. Whereas now, I mean, you for working for our high definition cameras, prosthetics are really invisible, you know. And I know that I sort of also mentioned how we used to punch loads of colour into them to kind of marry up.
Yeah,
you know, so that when we
cameras and the lights.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, the camera technology as well is a massive part of this, and we will be discussing that as well during the course and throughout the course, won't we?